Not all car insurance companies are the same. Some offer really good rates, but have terrible customer service, while other companies offer really good coverage, but cost you a fortune. In this video, we're going to go over how to compare the rates that are right for you and get the right company that's the fit for the budget and the level of service that you're expecting. The first piece you have to think about is the coverages that you carry makes a very large difference, especially if you're comparing companies, because when you're talking to different agents or if you're going online and comparing different prices, you may not be comparing the apples to apples. Like we just talked about, there is a price to service level, but if you're comparing the policies, we should make sure we have the right coverages first. So picking the right liability limits is very important. I'll link a video at the end that goes more in depth and detail on what those options are and what most people carry in most situations. Collision and comprehensive is the part that we need to focus on if we're covering your vehicle. If you have a newer vehicle, or if you can't afford to go without the vehicle or replace the vehicle, then you're going to want to have comprehensive and collision. So make sure that when you are doing quotes that you do add that onto the policy. Most companies are going to ask what deductible you want to carry. If you want the easy answer, most people choose either $500 or $1,000. That's how much you're going to pay out of pocket in the event you have an accident. In most cases, the cheaper that you pay out of pocket, the more you're going to pay on your monthly or your yearly cost for insurance. The opposite is true, so that if you have a higher deductible, $1,000, $1,500, and so on and so forth, then it's less you're going to pay on your monthly bill. I've personally found that if you go below the $500, price starts to jump up a little bit more. If you go above the $1,000, it doesn't go up as much. So having that larger amount isn't necessarily going to save you a ton if you're shopping for comprehensive and collision. There's also something called uninsured motorist, and that's a coverage for you or your vehicle. There's uninsured bodily injury and then uninsured property damage. That's your bodily injury if you or someone in your car gets hurt, and the property damage if the vehicle gets damaged. In those scenarios, that's protecting you in case the person that hit you didn't have enough insurance. And so you're having an additional coverage that you have an option to in most states that you can protect yourself so you're not out of pocket in that scenario where you have to hire lawyers and go after the person. It is just more of a headache in the long run. A common coverage you're going to hear is called full coverage, which is similar to what we talked about: liability, the property damage, the coverage for your car. If you're really thinking of the full coverage, you may want to add on road service and towing and any type of glass or rental car coverage. Some pieces that people don't think about is something called gap insurance. It's where you have too much of a loan and you owe more than what the car's worth. That's usually driving off the lot in most cases. And if that happens, you don't want it to pay the whole bill. So you can carry a small cost to insure yourself in case you go over. And for those of you want that additional coverage and you want the best option for in case something does happen, accident forgiveness is a very powerful thing to have, especially for those I didn't realize situations. You don't want your policy to necessarily increase because you did have an accident. That's pretty common. You're insuring a risk. If you have a claim, you have tickets, all of those pieces, that's going to add to the cost of that risk. A lot of insurance companies pre-accidents, if you plan ahead of time, you can add that accident forgiveness onto your policy just in case there is a scenario where you were at fault. That way your price doesn't go up because of that one incident. Now, the second piece you're going to think of is the affordability, the cost and the discounts and all of the pieces that are going to make up that policy. Everything is taken into what we call a profile. So when you're doing an insurance quote, if you're talking to an agent, you're going online, you're going to collect information. They want to know what's an insurance score. They want to know what car you have. They want to know what's the locations you drive near. All of those pieces, where the car's parked at night. The risk that they're trying to calculate is based on that. Now, there are some major discounts that you can get if you own a home. You can get a multi-policy discount if you insure your home with the same place that you insure your auto. If you're renting, you can do insurance for renter's insurance and for auto insurance. It makes sense to combine them because you're going to get that 20, 30, sometimes a 40+% discount on your auto insurance just for combining the two. There's a lot other discounts. We'll link a video at the end that goes over them, but you've got safe driver discount. That's a big one. You've got multi-car discount if you have more than one vehicle. You have the good student discount if you're a younger driver, away at school, credit union members, retired 55 plus. There's a lot of different options that are available. Make sure when you're speaking with your agent that you do let them know of any available discounts that you may think that you qualify for. Most agents, if they're good at what they're doing, will ask you those as well to make sure that they're not missing any discounts on top of what they're going to look at. The one thing that we usually are taught to check out for insurance is what is the actual service level going to be? There's companies like Better Business Bureau. There's the JD Power, which rates different insurance companies. There's this channel, which we're actually going to start doing a series on different companies. So Progressive and Geico and State Farm and Allstate. We've done more in the past, but it's time to renew those. So we're going to start going over your main companies. If you have some that you want me to review, leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to check them out and see if it's worth taking the time to find out if they're a company that's either a good fit or is having issues at the current moment. The largest thing that you're looking for when you're looking at reviews for companies is speed to claim. You want to make sure that if you do file a claim that you're going to get paid as quickly as possible, or your car is going to get fixed as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, a lot of that has been longer term, more so now than it was in the past. Part of it is getting the materials for the cars has slowed down a little bit, so it's harder to get that catalytic converter for your car to replace after an accident because the cost is backward, or there's precious metals and a lot of different things. Also, the cost of the repair has gone up, so the insurance companies don't necessarily just want to throw any part on the car. Remember, they're a company. They're not going to spend top dollar on every piece that they can get if they can save a few dollars for an equivalent part. For those of you that have foreign cars and you are worried about something like that, you usually in most companies ask your agent, but you can add what's called OEM equipment that allows you to get that extra piece or those extra coverage parts on your vehicle. Also keep in mind that if your car is mediocre in value, if you have original equipment and you tell them to put on original equipment, it's more likely they're going to just total the car at the end of the process, because if it gets to be more than 75% of the value of the car, insurance is going to pay for it in general and not worry about fixing it either case. Now, one thing you may start coming across online is something called AM Best or Moody's rating. That's really checking the financial stability of the company. Customer service is one rating system where those AM Best is going to rate the possibility of that company not being able to pay out on your claim. Let's say there's a major accident or major claim in your area and hundreds of thousands of vehicles just got wiped out. If that company can't pay those claims, it can go insolvent and they can just say, sorry, we can't do anything. Now, there are backups to those, so you're probably still covered at some level with your state, but you're going to wait 2 to 3 times as long to get your car back, which might upset a lot more than just getting the car fixed. Those ratings start off at the A+, A-, B. Anything below an A, if an insurance agent works with them, is probably a little bit more risky than you want to take on. There are companies that have been teetering between the A, A-, and B. So you've got to make a determination if you trust the company that you're going through, if they're going to be able to pay out on the claim should you have a claim. One easy way to determine that is if you do see a ton of bad reviews on those companies, it's usually because they're tighter on paying those claims. Now, house insurance is a little bit different in a scenario because a lot of those companies that are the cheapest, you're going to just naturally see them deny what I call gray areas, where those coverages aren't specifically talked about, but they also don't cover them. You're going to get this 50+ page sheet that you have to sign. And I'll be honest with you, I've probably never met anyone that's read it. So I go through it. And there are legal stuff that they're talking about what isn't covered on those declarations pages. Should there be a gray area, they may or may not pay out, depending on the company's rating, determines or at least shows you an example of whether those companies are willing to go the extra mile to just make the customer happy, or if they just don't care and want to save the quickest dollar they can. You're smart enough to understand that. Are you going to trust a company that's on their way out or going bankrupt? Probably not. You don't want to put your financial stability at risk with the company that you don't necessarily trust. The other piece of a company is reviewing their app. Everything's about technology now, and the ease of getting your documents, the ease of changing a car, the ease of getting hold of your agent, all of those pieces add up to whether you should or shouldn't have the right company. We're going to go over and review those in a lot of these videos as we go further, but is the app 24/7? Can you constantly access a claims department? Can you take photos and submit it without having to make phone calls? For us, you might just want to text your agent and talk to them directly. There's all of those pieces that make up whether an agent is the right fit for you, or is that app there just to put a roadblock in your way? Those are the 5 main pieces that customers are going to be looking at. Is the company giving you the right options for coverage? Is the price correct on what you're looking for as a policy? Are they giving you the correct type of customer service that you're looking for? And are they digitally strong? Are they going to meet you where you want to be? Also, are they financially strong? Are they going to be able to pay the claim should you have that? Those are the metrics that we're going to start using for a lot of the reviews that we do for companies on this channel. So how do you find the best deal with all of these companies out there? Most people will do either A, they'll shop between 3 different companies. That's what I've always done as a kid, is check 3 companies, let them know you're shopping, make sure they give you the best deal possible. The other way to fix that is you can shop with what's called an independent agent. Most local independent agents, or at least licensed in your state independent agents, have the ability to shop tens, if not 20, if not 100 different companies in your local area. So they can check Nationwide, they can check Allstate, they can check Safeco and Progressive and all of those major companies that you would normally call, instead of you having to do all the work. But their job is to find the best rate for the best coverage with the best company. So they're not looking always for the cheapest thing. They're looking for the best fit that's going to give you what we just talked about. Best coverage, best company, best reviews, all of those pieces that are going to make sense. That's going to fit your budget that you're looking for. If you are shopping for new insurance and you don't have an agent currently, I'll put a link in the description below where you can fill out a quote and start working with independent agents. So one of the benefits of having that access is letting them do the work and you get the rewards and the benefits from those actions. The second way to find the best deal is to check those discounts that we talked about. Are you eligible for a credit union member discount? Does company A or company B give a bigger discount for that? When you're talking to that agent, they're going to ask those questions. Or if you're filling out the quote, there's a section for you to fill out that gives them an idea. Are you part of the Harley Davidson Club? Are you an AARP member? Are you any type of association that might get you a better deal? Are you 55 and older? Usually your birthday will tell that answer. So I wouldn't worry so much about that one. That's an automatic piece. That will give you an idea of what you're looking for. The other piece that we're talking about, which we mentioned, is checking the reviews. Do actually look at maybe a Trustpilot or BBB, or go to this channel and read the reviews that people have left in the comments. Let us know companies you've had good success or bad success with. That will give you an idea in your area if these companies are, one, competitive and they're stable and they're doing the right service levels that you would expect. The fourth and probably the most important piece is think of longevity, not just what's going to fix my current issue today. I need insurance quick, or I need to shop quickly. I'm coming due for a week. If you get that way, you're going to get a cheap deal. You're going to find an agent that just wants to cut the coverages, cut the price, and you'll find what you're looking for. There are cheap deals out there. The bigger piece that you have to think about is the long-term play. How can I save the most and have the best coverage long-term? Do I protect my financial stability, not just today, but tomorrow? And if I have increases in income, all of those things, the inflation, I want to protect all of the pieces that I'm about to have and make sure that I'm not overpaying for something like that. So let me know what your thoughts are. Which car insurance do you think is the best? Put it in the comments below. And which one have you had issues with that you say avoid, stay away from, don't touch? I've had a lot of really good reviews on some companies I thought were bad, and vice versa. A lot of good reviews on companies that I thought were really bad. You're probably curious. The largest question that you're going to find is our first company we're going to review, which is Progressive versus Geico. Which one is going to be the best company for you? I've got that video coming up here when it's live. I'm Mark with Think Insurance. I'll see you in the next one.